The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
C.D. Lamb, touchdown.
Parsons has sacked it. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, and Kyle Youmans.
For one final time in the 2024 NFL season, ladies and gentlemen of Talkin Cowboys Nation, we welcome you to a Say It With Your Chest Friday here on Talkin Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. You heard that right. That was a rich mocha. Open it up.
Hold on.
Got one side.
Hold on.
Here's another one. Ooh, that was crispy. Crispy.
What'd you call it? What'd you call Isaiah?
A rich.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Rich mocha.
That's the name of the drink.
Oh, the name of the drink.
It's the name of Black Rifle.
I thought that's what you were calling Isaiah.
I'm gonna spit it out on the glass. You got him. You got him.
That's one way to derail the beginning of the
Call
show.
me a rich crispy. Got him. I'm not that dark, okay, Kyle? Jeez.
And we're off.
I'm Louis Vuitton Brown, all right?
Can you tell we've done a show together for
and
5
we're
years
off.
now?
Wow.
That's crazy.
Rich Crispy.
Yep,
That's my new
right.
nickname. It's going to be on a new shirt. Somebody make a shirt out there.
Rich McCrispy.
Oh, man.
And Josh, and No C, Kyle, and
Rich
Beamer in the
Mocha.
back, and Rich Crispy.
Sorry.
Buy your Quaker Oats on the internet. You got the opportunity. Might as well. All right. Chris Beam in the back. Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Youmans. It's the
Hi.
final Say It With Your Chest Friday of the 2024 campaign. The Cowboys taking on the Commanders this week. And
What's happening now?
it's starting to have that feel where it's just kind of sad, you know?
Yeah. It's like the last day of school.
A little bit, yeah. But it's almost like the last day of school, except you didn't pass any of your classes.
Oh.
And you got to redo it again next year.
Ouch.
I mean, it's true, though.
Yeah.
The expectations coming
Yeah.
into the year
You get left
were
back.
so sky high.
It's not that. It's like you finished the grade, right?
Yes.
And now you have summer school. That's what it feels like.
That's
It's like,
exactly what it is.
we're not
Yeah.
done working, you know?
Yeah.
We got a lot to do.
I could see that.
I think you're both right. I think you have
You
summer
failed
school.
because you were.
And summer school is still not enough. Not going to
And
get
you're
you
still
enough
held back.
credits. Still not going to get you enough credits to avoid retaking some of those classes. I
'cause
think you're both right.
Either we're running it back like as is, and we're going to another down off season, and you're going into a coaching staff that, of course, has half of the fan base sold in or bought in, and the other half of the fan base completely out. It's going to be interesting one way or the other how
say
they
the least.
attack these next couple of days. Any indication on anything moving forward as we get into news and notes, Pat?
No. There aren't even any whispers as far as like the coaching staff is concerned.
I've sent out like 5 text messages over the last 24 hours.
It is
and
radio silent.
everyone is.
No yin yang twins, huh?
No. It's radio silent. And I mean, you could interpret that however you want. You could say it's radio silent because the Cowboys are going to move on and part ways with McCarthy and his staff. Or you could say it's radio silent because they're not. And that's why it's radio silent. So I'll leave that for interpretation. But as it
Can you
stands,
remind the people what contracts are up?
Yes.
Can you remind the people what that is?
Yes.
Yeah.
It'd probably be
The
easier.
answer is yes.
No, I'm saying-
Everybody's.
Everybody. No, like when are they up? Like, are they up? Like,
Oh, they're up once the season concludes.
It's 1 week following the
Yeah.
final game.
Right.
That is the end of the contract.
Yeah.
One
The
week
final
at
game
end.
of the season?
Correct.
Of that respective season.
Wherever
Of
you
that team's
end up.
season.
Got it.
Yes. So if you lose in the wild card round, it's the week going into the divisional round. If it's the divisional round, it's the week going into the conference championship. That kind of thing. So
It's not like players, where players, their contract is technically through the beginning of the new
League
league
year.
year in mid-March. Yeah, it's not the same with coaches.
and then if it's scouts or front office personnel, that goes until the draft. So if your contract, let's just use Will McClay as an example. Will McClay's
we're gonna be
contract.
talking about him.
He's going to be he's a contract that is also up,
Yeah, that is up.
at the end of the draft, but they go up until the week after the draft. So the first week of May.
people know who Will McClay is and what he's done?
If you're a diehard Cowboys fan, absolutely, you should know.
Should know.
Yeah. I don't know if casual Cowboys fans really know, but Vice President, Player Personnel, one of the go-to guys in terms of the draft and player acquisition across the board. He's gotten you a lot of great
If he's
talent.
a Pro Bowl player, Will McClay found him.
Yeah,
It's a
absolutely.
good way to put it.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so if they had,
Or Will McClay's staff. I want to give a lot of those guys
oh
credit.
no,
Nope, just Will McClay. No, I'm
So when you say Will McClay, you speak to his entire staff.
Yes.
right?
That is
so
correct.
if Will McClay was a player, would it be a really good player? Would he
He'd
be
be
a
a
Pro
Hall of
Bowler? Would
Famer.
he be an All Pro? Would he
He'd
be a Hall of Famer?
Hall of Famer.
Just want the people to know.
Yeah, Will McClay is a culture changing scout and director of scouting for any organization. So I mean, yeah, he would not only be a Hall of Famer, he'd be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Shoe in. Absolutely.
So just,
but
just want people to have the understanding of the severity of
How important that
how
is.
important he is as you talk about the players, you talk about the coaches. Will
Massive.
McClay might.
Massive.
I will say Will McClay is the most important piece on the board
Listen, and the thing about
Across
it
the
is,
organization?
across the organization. I'm talking about in terms of contracts that are
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I would 100%.
I just don't know if people understand that.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, and it's not spoken of enough as far as his free agency to come because I think fans, and rightfully so, they've kind of been spoiled by the last 2 or 3 attempts at outside teams reaching in to try to get Will McClay. Well, McClay loves Dallas, and he's very rooted here by way of his son,
His family,
his
yeah.
family. But now,
What's happened there?
yeah, high school
It's over.
and graduating, and so.
No more ties.
Yeah, the ties are starting to kind of wither. And so we'll have this conversation as this offseason goes along. But I say that to say there is at least a chance that you lose Will McClay, and you just better hope that you don't,
Yeah.
Because he's going to have a lot of suitors regardless. So many
to
suitors.
say the least.
Every team
All
that
the suitors.
has a general manager opening will be on the phone.
All the
Even
suitors.
teams that don't have an opening might be on.
Yeah, maybe so.
Jets might be off the board because it looks like they're leaning toward Louis Riddick. But for the most part,
They just had an interview with him.
yesterday, I want to say.
Yeah, but that would be a quicker thing. They want to do something now.
That's what I mean.
Yeah,
So
ASAP,
I,
surely.
Yeah,
it
I
would
think
take
they'd be
another
the
one of
first
these
off the
teams
board.
that I feel like is okay going into the draft.
Listen, let me tell you what you really don't want as the Giants work through the Joe Shine situation. Fill in that blank.
So all right. So just for synopsis here, if teams wanted to pursue Mr. McClay, when could they?
It's a good question.
Because
That's why I'm asking about the dates and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that's front office personnel.
I don't know what the tampering or lack
That's a great
thereof
question. I'll
rules
try to
is.
find that out before the end of the show.
That's why I'm asking about like
Because a lot of
players
teams-
and execs. Like that's when does all that stuff hit, right? Because there's going to be after this Sunday. Can teams all of a sudden start blowing up Will McClay's phone, or do they have to wait until playoffs are over, or do they have to wait until March? Like,
To the draft's over.
Yeah.
Because his contract goes through the draft. But if I'm just thinking, and this is general NFL employees, this is the same thing for us.
I have the answer.
If you do,
As far as the GM, if he's interviewing for GM,
Okay, go.
Immediately when that team's respective season ends, an existing front office personnel guy, if he's interviewing for GM, he can start. So for
Sunday
Will
at
McClay,
3:30.
Sunday once this game is over, teams could start calling.
so Sunday 3 p.m. 3:30.
More or less, give or take.
wow, that's
Give or
that's interesting. Because I know from a staff standpoint, if a team were to look across the board and look at let's say the Minnesota Vikings wanted Patrick's services as a full-time employee of the Cowboys, they would have to get permission from a vice president or a president of the organization, which would be, I believe, Stephen Jones would have to give the go-to, and that's for Patrick. We're not talking about Will McClay at this point in time, you know? Like, it's still pretty regimented across the way. But if that's the case,
Yes.
when they're talking about general managers, his phone better be on loud at 4 o'clock. Or somebody take his phone. Let's just do that. Somebody
Steal
grab
his
the phone.
Just a question.
You're very inquisitive today.
There aren't any salary caps
He's asking,
on executives,
He's
correct?
asking for fans. Is what he's.
There aren't any salary
there's
caps on
salary
general
cap.
managers?
No, blank check type stuff. Yeah. Isaiah's asking for the fans. He's not obviously.
Just for those that are just uninformed, like myself. There's no restraints from other desperate organizations in terms of how much they can offer.
They can throw the largest bag you can think.
And you would never know what that number is.
Right.
No, they don't have to disclose it.
So
take a blank check,
non-disclosure. Okay.
Yeah.
Just put it out there.
And the roots are loosening with McClay in Dallas.
The family ties. There's nothing locking him down to Dallas anymore.
I don't like what you guys are saying.
I'm just laying. This is the reality.
Here's what
it's a fact of the matter.
What we're saying. Hear me, okay, guys upstairs. What we're saying is
disconnect his phone because it's perfect.
What we're saying is get ready to play big boy ball with the offer for Will McClay.
Yeah, first
and get it done before. Listen, I would say. You haven't started talking to McCarthy yet, and like Zimmer, okay, cool. Get McClay done first. Get it done right now. Now, when the Youmans like, you want McCarthy's information? You want to know one decision Monday, Tuesday? I want to know Will McClay's future when the clock hits zero.
No,
against the Commanders.
I'm down for that.
And that's the reason why I'm clowning around, but I'm being serious.
Yeah,
people are talking about the head coaching job as if that's the most important decision the Cowboys have to make. That is not the most important decision the Cowboys have to make. They need secure Will McClay. I need people to understand it, and I know people are going to look and say, "Well, the last few drafts, screw all that."
Stop that.
You better secure Will McClay. If you think that you need to sign a head coach or make a decision on your coach over the next week, then to your point, in the first hours after the game, you better be. As soon as the game's over, here's the new offer.
Yeah,
here's the new offer. Because if you wait, if you wait, and we all know
goes
this,
up.
Listen, that number is going to exponentially go up, and you may not ever know what that number is.
Yeah. You don't know what you're going up against.
You don't know what you're competing against, because he doesn't have to disclose that.
No.
Listen, and to your point, for those that are saying, "Oh, well, the last couple of drafts, batting average."
Oh yeah,
that's always my reply for that.
He's still hitting like 390, and that with like 12 homers. And I mean, how many Pro Bowlers did he have this past year? And they're all coming from his ideas.
And coming from an embarrassing performance throughout the entire season, you still have 5 Pro Bowlers at the end of the day. Go ahead,
and we just finished talking.
Just want to add another layer to this before we move on to the next topic.
Go ahead.
If you were, this is for speaking for any general manager, right? Not general manager, sorry. That title belongs to somebody else.
Sure.
If you speaking to the senior whatever
executive,
the one that runs player personnel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Whatever the title is.
Yes.
If that individual were to leave or that individual were to come into an organization, they usually take their entire staff with them.
It's their
So it's not just one
You're
person.
Not just losing.
It's not just one person. It's the entire department.
It's like a coaching change because they could keep some guys. They could keep elements.
But most of the time,
team, or they could elevate from within. There's a lot of very capable guys on that side of the building, guys and girls.
But typically,
that could elevate to a position.
Some won't, and some of the scouts
will
not want to leave.
Absolutely,
depending on where Will McClay lands. However,
yes,
I'm with you on this.
That individual will want his people.
Scouts are extremely loyal.
Yep.
So
because of the processes,
you will lose 97% of your scouting department
if you don't hire from within.
Correct.
Yeah.
I just want people to understand how important that person's name is.
It's going to be wild.
I just needed them to understand that. Thank you guys for that.
And not to mention, if we go back to, I'd probably say this is the 2025 NFL draft is the most important draft for the Cowboys since 2016, and you hit in 2016 partially because of Will McClay. You hit Ezekiel Elliott, you hit Dak Prescott. You're coming off a year where you were top 5 in the NFL draft. You're going to have a top 15 pick most likely going into this draft. This is crucial because even in 2020, when you lost Dak Prescott and he was out for a significant portion of time, you had the confidence that, okay, he's coming back and we're going to get a dude. You ended up getting Micah Parsons in 2021, and you were off and running from that point forward. I don't think you have that confidence around the roster going into this April's draft. You have to hit on this draft. 2025 is a must hit for the Cowboys. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And those scouting departments scout not only other free agents, not only people whose contracts are coming up, not only for potential trades, but you're scouting your own personnel as well.
Yep.
So if you guys need any kind of comparison, look at what the Giants just did this past year. They scouted Saquon Barkley before making a decision on Saquon Barkley. That wasn't just a GM just sitting up there saying, "Oh, we're moving on." Now he relied on his scouting department to say, "You know what? Yeah, he's losing a step. Yeah, we'll have options." So understand how decisions are made within the executive organization. You rely that individual in power to make the decision. The general manager gets his insight and majority of his information from his scouting department. So look at what the Cowboys have done, and then look at what the Giants just did and how detrimental that decision was from the information that was received from the entire scouting department. That's why they're all on notice.
Yep, it's true. And they also took Daniel Jones with the 4th overall pick in the NFL draft back in 2019.
And paid him.
Yeah. And paid him $40 million a year. Yeah,
and basically chose him over Saquon last year.
Basically. Yeah. All right. Any other news and notes before we take our first break?
That was good.
No, we didn't mention the Pro Bowlers. So shout out to the 5 guys who were able to earn another Pro Bowl nod.
Say their names.
And we shall say their names.
And they shall appear.
We got Cavante Turpin. We got Brandon Aubrey. We got CeeDee Lamb. We got Micah Parsons, and we got Tyler Smith. And each one of those guys in their own way has entered the history books with earning this 2024 Pro Bowl nod. And most notably, I have to draw a circle around a guy like Cavante Turpin when you talk about his journey to this point, and Brandon Aubrey when you talk about his journey.
Shouts to Bones Fossil, man. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Look at what Look at what he's doing with these guys, man. And CD able to earn another Pro Bowl nod with one arm, right? Micah Parsons just helped the defense light on fire when he got back from his injury, has become that leader that everybody was wondering if he could become. And Tyler Smith.
Amazing.
Consistency.
That's it. I just say his name.
That's a Will McClay win.
Yeah,
another
Will
So
McClay.
is Cavante Turpin, XFL
and
experiment. Brandon Aubrey, XFL experiment. Right?
Also, on Tyler Smith, really quick, 14 of the last 15 years have included a Dallas Cowboys starting offensive lineman in the Pro Bowl.
Is that good?
Yeah,
Jeez.
that's pretty darn good.
Seems good.
He kind of figured out the offensive lineman of it all.
Yeah. That Will McClay guy.
Let's hope Tyler Guyton gets there.
Cavante Turpin needs to write a book.
Cooper Beebe's getting there already.
Turpin needs to write a book or have a story made for him. Because his story, Aubrey for sure. But
what's the book going to be called?
I don't know. Turpy Speed?
Maybe.
I think you should claim that.
Turpy Read.
Ooh.
Okay.
It's a book.
All right. That was so bad it was good. That was pure joke stuff.
His journey, man.
That was okay.
His story is one of resilience, betting on yourself, and when preparation meets opportunity. Like it's like literally the picture of that. This dude's entire life changed.
Did you guys feel a way about his comments after this last game, after the Philly game?
We didn't touch on that, did we?
He was frustrated.
He was really frustrated, and I appreciated that candor from Cavante Turpin. But just curious as to what y'all thought about his comments.
I liked it. I think he could have chosen his words more wisely, but I liked his meaning behind it.
Listen,
but how can you really fault him for wanting the ball in his hands?
No.
He said it yesterday. No. He's like, when the ball's in my hands, I'm dangerous. And that is proven every time he touches the ball.
When it's proven to be true, it's not just a jag.
It's not
who's just like,
fluff.
oh, throw me the ball, and you're like, nothing supports them throwing you the ball, right? Cavante Turpin.
There's a couple drops in there that are pretty concerning.
Fair. But for the most part, Cavante Turpin with the ball in his hands.
When he gets the ball secured into his hands, he's great.
Phenomenal.
We just got to get it.
And plus, he's one of the, you talk about winning culture and you want dogs in the locker room. Comments like that come from a dog. So when the dog starts barking like that, I don't feel a way because the volume of the bark is too loud. Bark, dude, bark. You know what I mean? Like you're one of the reasons that this season wasn't worse than what it actually could have been, right? So yeah, he's a competitor. He's a playmaker. He wanted the ball. Love it. Maybe give him the ball.
Restricted free agent this year too, by the way.
Exactly.
As is Aubrey.
2-time All-Pro?
You think
Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl.
Yeah. We'll see what All-Pro. He could make an All-Pro team.
Bro, it's crazy.
Aubrey will.
You go from making probably $60,000 playing in the UFL, just like on the brink of possibly going back and just finding a regular job. If not, he probably had a regular job in addition to that.
Maybe.
And now he's making millions doing what you love.
About to make more millions.
Having the play of the season for the Dallas Cowboys.
Price keeps going up. Every time you make a Pro Bowl, your price goes up. I mean, it's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah.
I'll watch that story.
Absolutely. Shouts to him.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you think his turns at as running back, basically, do you think that plays any impact on his role next season? Do you think we give him more of a chance in the backfield?
No. You don't know who your HC and OC are next season. So can't answer it right now.
That's tough.
Can't answer it.
All right, let's take our first break.
Good job, boys.
When we come back, it's been a rough year for the Cowboys, no doubt about that. But I want to have a lasting impressions talk. This is our final show of the regular season. We'll get into off-season talk next week, but I want to take a look back and see what will you remember about this campaign, regardless of what happens in Washington this week. We'll answer that question when we come back with more Talking Cowboys right after this. If you're looking for fresh American roasted coffee that gives back, you need to head to your local grocery store and pick up a bag of Black Rifle coffee. That's right, America's coffee is now available in the coffee aisle of a grocery store near you. Black Rifle Coffee Company is veteran-founded with a mission to give back to those brave men and women who have served our nation. Every bag, box, or can you purchase helps support that mission. Head to your local grocery store and roast yourself some Black Rifle coffee today.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys VIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code Cowboys VIP.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a pepper thing.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Welcome back to Talking Cowboys, presented by Black Rifle Coffee Company. Get your rich mocha today. It's extra crispy. Don't worry about it. This portion of the show is brought to you by Quaker Oats, the official oatmeal sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Quaker Oats, trusted since 1877.
Use the Quaker code in the corner to purchase your oats on the internet.
I swear, once a week or at least once a month, Isaiah just tries to get all of us fired by doing something stupid.
What did I do today?
You made me call you a rich mocha.
You called me a Rich Crispy. Actually, it was Rich Crispy.
Rich Crispy.
I remember it.
We're wrapping up 5 years on this show together. Can you believe that?
Oh my goodness.
That's wild.
We started in our own little places.
This season
Yeah.
felt like 5 years.
Looking over Zoom calls.
I do.
Beamer sent me my little light kit and a little microphone.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing.
I remember when
I still have that light too, Beamer.
Derek, it's funny. I remember it like it was yesterday. Derek gave me a call, and it was in the middle of the offseason going into 2020. And he was like, hey, I want to get this guy involved. He's a former player. He's won a Super Bowl. I want to try and find a way to get him on the air. Do you feel like talking would be a good spot for him? And I was like, I have no idea who this guy is. I have never heard of Isaiah Stanback in my life. And he was like, no, I heard him speak at my church, and he's very well-spoken. And I was like, sure, why not? Let's give him a shot. And then the first time Isaiah got on, I was like, man, this dude's going to be something special. This is going to be something cool. So always remember that. It was funny. TMI, I was totally on the toilet when Derek called me, but so I remember the whole thing.
Why did we
like it
need
was
that?
yesterday? Because it was funny.
Why did we
It was
need
hilarious. I like opened the door and everything so that way it didn't sound like I was in a bathroom.
Did you think about like ignoring his call?
Oh, yeah. I totally thought about it. But I was like, you know what? It's Derek. This might be something important. Sure enough, he was trying to put Isaiah Stanback on the show.
That couldn't wait 10 minutes.
No, this has got to be on the air.
No, I'm just saying that call. You couldn't wait to call him back like 10 minutes.
I didn't know what was going on. This is my first year of hosting. Remember, I had just started hosting.
He just started.
I had just started. We started the same year.
Look what you did.
So I was like 6 or 7 shows into this thing.
Beamer, when Derek's show comes on, you have to ask him, did you know that Kyle was on the toilet?
He 100% did not know. He did not know.
First of all, I'm not going to ask him on his show. It's not that kind of show. It's not like hanging with the boys where we can ask stuff like that.
I'm calling in then.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, there you go. A little insight. TMI, baby.
So Kyle got me hired.
Talk about winning the bowl
get you
game.
hired.
Huh? Talk about winning a bowl game.
Hey.
And then
we was going to leave that
this
alone.
offseason, whenever we were getting ready
I was going to leave
do
that
the
alone
show,
the whole show, but you brought it up.
You brought it up.
this season,
How was your night?
we were getting ready to do the show, and I was like, you know what? We should give this Patrik kid a chance.
That's a good one.
We should just kind of,
Thanks, man. I
take the opportunity to, open it
Calls
up.
himself No C.
Yeah, he's kind of a weird guy. He likes anime.
Go get on the break.
Kind of weird.
Kind of weird guy. He likes anime. Let's give him a shot, though.
Don't downplay my weirdness.
And every single person said no. They all didn't want to do it.
That tracks.
But I
dude,
pushed
get
for
this
my
guy
friend.
out.
Right. Get him in there, buddy.
Good job, Josh. Well done. All right, that's funny. No, it's been good with you guys. I always enjoy doing this show, and that's why it's a little sad because I know we'll come back training camp. It's going to feel like a completely different excitement. We're back together on multiple days out of the week, and then we get into the regular season flow of it. It's a long way, but it will
really
be here
not,
before
though.
you know
It's
it.
8 months, bro.
Yeah,
You're gonna blink.
23 weeks.
it'll be right there. Not yet. It's a little too
That might be witch.
You would. Do that. You would.
That might be witch.
But the excitement will be there again. But right now, it's just kind of it was a rough year. What are you going to look back on when you remember 2024? What's the number one thing that you'll kind of have a lasting impression on?
I mean, the first thing that pops up is injuries.
Yeah.
For me, honestly, I think the injuries popped up. I think that's something that sucks. Every team, you're going to say every team deals with it. Yeah, it's true, but every team doesn't lose like every Pro Bowler that they have outside of Brandon Aubrey and Kevontae Turpin. I mean, you lost everybody else.
Yeah.
For extended periods of time.
For extended
you
periods
lost
of time.
your
Yeah.
best players.
So that's hard to overcome. It just really is. I think they did their best to do so. I think that Coach McCarthy did a great job. I don't think he's getting enough credit for keeping it together and still keeping hope and still remaining competitive amongst losing high contributors to your team. You lost your QB1. You lost your wide receiver 1 at one point in time. You lost your one of the greatest offensive linemen to play. You lost your cornerback that you just paid. So, I mean, you lost a lot of guys, especially guys that you just poured a bunch of money into. And yet you're still able to tell your guys, look them in the eyes and say, hey, we still have a chance to go out here and take care of business. Next man up, or all the stuff that you would hear. But it actually did it. You know, there's some games in there you got your butt kicked for sure. But there's some really good games in terms of competitiveness. The teams that you got destroyed by are teams that are all playing, next weekend.
Yeah.
Except for the Saints.
Except for the Saints. I mean, they I don't know what that meltdown was.
Yeah, that was bad.
That felt like the Cardinals game from last year.
That was
worse. I throw it back to
teams
the
that would be
Broncos
interested
game
in McCarthy.
a couple years ago.
Dak's second year?
It wasn't the second
beatdown?
year, but the
McCarthy.
Yes, the
We went
blueprint
for it
game.
on 4th and 2 or something,
Yes,
and they were like, "That
blueprint
is
game.
disrespectful."
Yeah.
And that was awful.
So
That was really bad.
that's my memory. The injuries and then what you had to over, Coach McCarthy's work in terms of keeping these guys competitive, with those major injuries. So
I would say the job that Mike McCarthy has done that's going to be a lasting impression for me, in that all hope seemed lost. I think a lot of people were calling for McCarthy's job halfway through this season, especially after that Lions game. It's like, what are we doing here? We got to make a change, right? We got to make a change. You heard that across the board from fans and experts alike, right? And to see how he turned it around, in that the players didn't stop believing in what McCarthy was doing in the system, they started believing in what Mike Zimmer was doing. I think the fact that you saw depth players stepping up to the role of being starters and galvanizing behind the group, but galvanizing behind the team, which I didn't think you saw early in the season.
And beating a couple playoff teams in doing so.
Beating a couple playoff teams. The run at the end of the season, and it, all for me is watermarked by that first Commanders game with Kevontae Turman returning for a touchdown. Like, to me, that was like the highlight of my year, basically. It was just...
God, that game was so good.
Yeah, it was just... And it didn't feel at any point in that game, we're like, oh, we're going to lose this game, up until the very last, the fourth quarter Scary Terry touchdown. But to me, that game was such a, like... Wow, we really can put it together. We can find a way to put it together. The team that we know and love over the last 3 seasons of
still
12
in there
wins,
somewhere.
They're still in there somewhere, and that game to me solidified that. To me, that will be the lasting impression and the job that Bones Fossil has done this year. I mean, how can you deny that he is the best special teams coach in the NFL?
Had a couple hiccups, but Bones did. But overall,
I think players did. I don't think it's anything that Bones. Regardless, there were a couple of special
nobody
teams
was perfect this season.
No.
But that being said, Bones Fossil remains the best special teams coordinator in the game,
and you can't dispute it at this point. He's doing it with XFL players.
That game in
insane
in Washington. That's
USFL.
USFL.
Not even the current
not
league.
even the current variation of it. Yeah, but that game in Washington, that's one that in 20 years we'll be talking to our kids and grandkids and being like, "You had to be there."
Well, yeah, that was just
that was
insane.
nuts. For me, it was injuries, and that's definitely up there for me. But it's being unable to wrap my head around the sudden inability to win games at home.
Yeah.
Something broke there in that Green Bay Packers game, and that's what started the calendar year. Is you getting walked by Green Bay at AT&T Stadium. That game turned out to be, in hindsight, the turning point from you being literally the best home team in the NFL for the past 2+ seasons to literally being the worst home team. Inclusive of that game, 6 consecutive losses at home before they stopped the bleeding when the Giants came to town.
Most of those by 20 points.
Yeah, and they were not even close on top of that. Like, those weren't competitive games. So for the entirety of the season as that was happening, I couldn't wrap my head around what was going on at AT&T Stadium, other than to say they just never emotionally and mentally recovered from Green Bay walking onto the field and punching them in the face and beating them into submission. And from then, now you go forward into 2025 and you hope that, especially after defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that was a message game because you didn't have to play Grinch there, but you bucked up for McCarthy and Mike Zimmer, and you showed that you're still galvanized as a locker room, and you went and you did that. Hopefully that type of momentum culturally rolls over into 2025. But for me, 2024 will be marred in a large way by just the inability to do anything competitive at home until it was too late.
Yeah. By the time it was already said and done,
it was too
basically.
late. Yeah.
Mine, I think all of those are fantastic. And to a certain extent, it's a mesh of all those. I think my lasting impression is going to happen as to what happens over the next couple weeks with the coaching staff. I'll go on record and I'll say it because I've already given the backup behind it.
Say it with your chest.
I think it would be a mistake to move on from Mike McCarthy.
He said it with his chest.
One more time. Say it again.
I think it would be a mistake. I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. But right now, as we sit, my gut feeling says if you move on from Mike McCarthy, it might be the hard reset that you've been avoiding for so long.
Might.
Whereas, it would serve as a reset. But when you're hiring a coach... When you're hiring a coach, your anticipation moving on from Mike McCarthy is that they would elevate this team to go win playoff games. I don't know if you can realistically expect that with a completely new staff. It's going to be tough either way. And sure, you could go hire one of these other names that are out there on the open market that have had success in other places, and they could come in here and do great. I just don't feel like it would be as effective what Mike McCarthy could do on this team. And I think I'm in the media minority in that fact. I think most of the media, most of the Cowboys fans out there are okay with moving on from Mike McCarthy. I have no ties with Mike McCarthy. Let me make that very, very clear. I just think it would be a mistake to move on from him. I think he's the best guy to lead this football team, and we'll see what happens moving forward.
He said it with his chest.
Chaz Michaels is figure skating. Boom.
But that's where my lasting impression will be. I mean, a lot of this week feels like even walking around the building and being in this vicinity, it feels like it did in 2019 when they elected to move on from Jason Garrett, because we were here for that, and it was just very down. It was very somber, and there was a lot of intrigue, but question and uncertainty. It feels like that again right now. If you do move on, like we talked about earlier, so be it. But I just think it would be a mistake. We may be coming back. We may be coming back at the end of next year, and the Cowboys are sitting at 4-13, and they weren't able to figure it out with a new head coach in there at any point in time. And I might just say, you know what, guys, I thought that would be the possibility.
But see, in that scenario,
that could have been the case.
This is why I say I'm fine, given how the back end of the season went and the month of December went. The Philadelphia Eagles game notwithstanding, because what the hell was that? Outside of that, 2 years. A 2-year deal. Now, of course, that's the offer, because free agency is a two-way street. So I would offer him 2 years, but what would maybe the Chicago Bears offer him? What would maybe the New Orleans Saints offer him? Assuming that, the Jets are still trying to figure out. So, I mean, 5 years, I'm not in on 5 because of what you just said.
Not.
Because I'm willing to revisit this after next year.
Yeah.
And not still be on the hook for 4 more years financially.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So I'm with you on that. I'm fine with McCarthy. If they choose to remain in 2025 with McCarthy, I'm totally fine with that, because I've seen the fight.
Yes.
I've seen Kyle Shanahan. Let me make sure I specify.
There you go.
You saw that Kyle in Santa Clara during a struggling season, a down season, couldn't keep his locker room together. Guys were refusing to go into the field for him.
People literally walking off the field in the middle of a game.
Was that ever an issue here?
No.
Not
Ever.
once.
With the defense struggling in the first half, and now this is kudos to Mike Zimmer as well. In the back half of the season, those same guys, it wasn't just next man up, it was next man up.
Yeah.
And they still were being competitive. So I'm in for both of the Mikes for 2025, as long as in doing so, you don't lose like an Al Harris. Because
100%.
if you're going to lose an Al Harris, now we got to have a conversation about the Zimmer side.
We're going to talk about this a little bit.
Yeah.
When we started the season,
I'm with you.
When we started the season, I had a 10-win mark on this team. 10 wins is what I anticipated. You finished with 7, possibly 8. You could get 8. I don't remember either. But I remember I thought this would be a 10-7 football team going into the year. You finished with 7, maybe 8 wins. I don't think you get even close to that with this roster, in this situation, with these injuries, with this lack of depth, with all of that without Mike McCarthy. I think this is a 4-13 team without Mike McCarthy this year.
It's
true.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's not wrong.
True. Thank you. But you had a shot to make the playoffs with it, and that's impressive. That's impressive. So, yeah, if they move on, they move on. That's part of it. But I think it would be a mistake.
If they don't, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah. All right.
I like it, Kyle.
All right, when we come back, it's time for one final Pick'em segment. Give us a call, 888-855-2297, if you want to represent the fans this week in our final Pick'em segment of 2024. More Talking Cowboys right after this.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
Back here on Talking Cowboys, this segment of the show is brought to you by Invisalign, the official smile of the Dallas Cowboys. Glad you're with us with Isaiah Stanback, Josh Rodriguez, Chris Beam in the back. I'm Kyle Youmans, and then we've got this guy over here.
So shiny.
Yeah.
He thinks it's all wrapped up and
over.
ready to go.
It's over.
He's got the WWE wrestling belt shining in gold.
Pick'em champ, right?
Not
here.
so fast, my friend.
For the Pick'em champion. It actually says that on here. It says Pick'em champions.
Yeah.
And then it has like an upside down W. Is that an M?
It doesn't spin like Spree Wells, though.
That's a W.
For mediocre? Or what?
No, that's not the Miz. That's not the Miz.
No,
that's not the Miz.
But he doesn't get the
understand
reference.
that.
He doesn't get the reference because he
It's the
doesn't
Miz,
watch
yeah.
wrestling. He's too busy answering calls on the toilet.
I was too busy watching. I was watching
Isaiah on the toilet.
I was watching the college football playoff
Taking a
quarterfinals
mean-
last night. That's what I was
Oh,
watching.
wow.
That's fair.
I didn't
Shots
say
have
anything.
been taken.
I'm just. That's what I was
Which
watching.
is all you could do when you're not in the playoffs.
I've got a playoff tonight. Go Mean Green, baby.
Let's
First
go.
Responders bold. Take down Texas State.
Hey man,
Kick their
shouts
ass.
out at Notre Dame. Respect. Okay, no excuses. You went in there, you took it, you wanted it more. So not
You was just going
You've
to
got
take it,
more
wasn't you?
gold today than you do the red.
Well, that's because I've been whooping y'all ass all season.
Let's check in on that with a little Beamer's bulletin. Beamer,
Hey guys,
what's up, buddy?
boy,
Big
it's
dog.
been a hell of a week when it comes to pick'em.
I tell you what.
You want to know why?
I didn't have a great.
Why is that?
Because I should have got this guy on the phone. Because Tommy Yarvish pitched for the fans last week.
Oh no!
And oh my God, did he pick for the fans? This guy went 6-0. Whoa, 6-0 last week for the fans.
I know how that
And
feels
guess what?
Because I've done that.
Yes, you did. And it just jumped the fans over everybody. And now the fans and Patrick are tied for first place.
Do I look concerned?
Just letting you know.
Whoa.
Kyle's in second with a I call this the yes system, which is the Youmans electronic system for scoring.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's more like
He
yes.
is 6-5. He's 65 points overall.
Okay.
41 losses. Josh is in fourth place, and Stanback is in dead last.
That's right.
Okay, but everybody always asks, "What is the
That's right.
real standings?" So I did those.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's the
raise
exact
your
same.
hand if you're in the lead. Patrick, put your hand down. Josh, put your hand up. Josh has the best real pick'em standings at 57 and 39.
impressive.
Say it with your chest, brother.
Josh Radamas.
But that he's
The
back.
Josh
But we do have
Adamas
those.
needs to
But
take
no.
that
No, 'cause we do
WWE
have
belt
dogs.
and swipe it over.
Because we still have dogs.
But he's been
yes,
picking puppies.
the yes
I
method
am
says
just
different.
letting you know.
So what you're saying
Back
is
to
I'm
you,
still
Kyle.
the best at picking the underdogs.
That's fair.
He's picking puppies. That's all.
All right.
That's the
Still
only
the
thing.
So does,
Thank you, Beamer.
does Kyle have a chance
How about
to
that?
jump the fans in?
Yeah. How many games am I back?
Okay, so your record right now is you have to they're 67 points.
Oh, so I'm
And
only
you're
two games
You're
back.
2 games back.
Oh, let's go, baby. Let's make a make
Yeah,
a run.
this is
Let's make
it.
a run, baby. Let's go. I want that belt next week.
And Josh, you're 4 games back. So if you go undefeated this week, Josh,
All right.
you got the championship.
How many games back am I?
I am going to be. Oh gosh. I am going to make this known when making these pick'em games. This is the wildest week because you don't know who's in
playing.
and who's out.
Yeah.
For a lot of these teams,
Comeback
this is
time
going to
for
be
me, baby.
wild. This is going to be crazy. All right, here we go. Starting with Albert in Arizona. What's going on, Albert? You're representing the fans. You got a lot of pressure this week. You got to beat Patrick if you want to win the whole thing.
Let's go, Cowboys. That's right, baby. First-time caller to the show,
Hey,
but not a first-time listener.
Let's go,
Welcome to
baby.
Talkin
Appreciate you.
Cowboys.
We appreciate you, Albert. We're going to have some dogs to pick. Browns, Bears, Rams, Chiefs are the potential dogs because Carson Wentz is playing instead of Patrick Mahomes. Keep that in mind. Against the Broncos that need a win in order to make the postseason. Anybody got a dog this week? We'll start with Patrick.
Broncos should have won last week. I think they win this week. I'm going with the Rams as my dog.
Rams is the dog without all of their starters. Uh-oh.
How's that worked out for you?
Wait, Isaiah, go ahead and pick. They're not a. If you would say that, you would say the Rams would beat the Seahawks.
Oh no,
Focus.
that's not happening.
Yeah.
No,
Focus.
hell no.
Yeah, get your dog.
Get it
Right.
I saw them. I saw the name and I got excited.
I know. I saw the
let's-
non-playoff bound Seahawks.
Yeah, that's okay. This year, for sure, Coach. Let's go with the Bears.
Okay, Bears. Josh.
Oh, yeah, but I'm going with the Rams.
I think that was exactly what their chant is.
No, I'm going with the Chiefs.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs too.
All right,
go.
fine. I'm going with the Browns then.
Oh, okay. Albert, what you got? Chiefs. All right. Bengals at Steelers. This is a playoff possible game for Joe Burrow and company. They have to win this game. Isaiah, what do you think?
I'm not betting against Joe Burrow.
I'm not either. Give me the Bengals.
Give me the
Josh.
Steelers.
I'm taking the Bengals.
Taking the Bengals.
You're crazy.
All right. Albert.
Joe Cool, the Bengals.
That's right.
Texans at Titans. Patrick.
Oh, man.
I don't believe C.J. Stroud is playing.
Nope. Titans.
Okay.
And I have no confidence in that with Titans.
I'm telling you, that's all these games.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. Give me the Texans. Give me the Texans to win it. Josh?
Titans.
Tony Pollard.
Albert?
Texans.
All right. Giants at Eagles without all their starters. This is the spread right now is like -1.5 in terms of the Eagles. Like it's like they're getting the points.
Give me the green poop.
Oh, going straight Eagles.
Yep.
Albert.
Just because I hate the Eagles more, give me the G-Man.
The G-Man. All right.
You know you're picking for the entire fan base.
I hate the Eagles more as well, but my belt's on the line. I'm going Eagles on this one.
See, I'm trying to steal that belt. Give me the Giants to win it.
You're crazy.
Malik Neighbors and company.
Crazy.
What we got, Josh?
Give me the Giants.
Okay. Moving on from there, Dolphins at Jets, two disappointing teams out of the AFC East. Josh.
Patrick, you go.
The Jets have mailed it in. I don't think the Dolphins have necessarily mailed it in. So I'm going Miami on this one.
Okay.
Go with the Jets.
I think I'm going to go with the Dolphins.
That's why you did that.
The Dolphins are still trying to get in, aren't they?
You were going to go opposite me no
I
matter
just need an
what.
informed decision.
I feel like they're just a sleeping giant. Like they're just like
Dolphins?
I feel like
I don't
they're
know
just
if
waiting.
they have a shot to get in.
They're like, don't they have like a slim?
Is it?
I think it's like very slim.
I
Is
thought
it
was
all
the
secure?
Bengals.
Well, Tua's trying to play, so
Yeah.
I'm going to take the Dolphins. I'm going to take the Dolphins.
I'm taking
here.
the Dolphins too.
Albert?
Give me tuna. That's dolphin free, baby.
All right, this is going to be one of the best games. This game has more wins between two divisional foes.
And this game means a
meeting
lot.
in the final game of the regular season.
Number one seed.
Than any other game in
the division.
NFL regular season history.
One team will play the next week. The other team gets to sit at the crib.
Correct. Vikings at Lions. Albert will let you start.
Oh, man.
We get it. We get it.
Just because of what they did to us this year, give me the Vikings.
Ooh, this year?
Picking with us.
What the Lions did.
did to us.
Oh, got it. I see what you're saying.
I understand you more
And
than Kyle
because of
does.
that, I'm going to go with the Lions. Yeah, give me the Lions to win it at home. What do you think, Patrick?
Oh no, Josh, you go first.
That's a fair return fire.
Give me the Lions.
Huh?
I'm taking the Lions.
Okay.
Yeah. Only because they're
That's
at
it.
home.
They are at the crib.
They at the crib, man. The Lions fans going to be nuts.
Ford
I'm
Field,
going with
baby.
Justin Jefferson.
You going with the Vikings?
Yeah, my heart says Lions, but Justin Jefferson, I think is
He's
probably
Sam Darnold's
he's
gonna-
Sam Darnold. Yeah.
I really think this is a no pun intended, this is a pick'em that goes down to who's at home. If Minnesota was at home,
I agree.
I'd
I would
the
probably
Vikings.
pick the Vikings, yeah. All right, Commanders at Cowboys, final game of the Cowboys 2024 regular season and season in general. The Commanders at 11-5 coming in. They're possibly going to start some of their go-to guys, possibly not.
Pitch count.
Going into it on a possible pitch count and whatever that may entail going into it. With that being said, Dan Quinn wants to win this game, and they want to have some revenge. So we'll let Albert start as we normally do with the fans. Commanders, Cowboys at AT&T Stadium at noon on Sunday. Who you got?
Dallas Cowboys 23, Commanders 14.
All right. There you go. Appreciate you, Albert, for the call. Appreciate you listening and giving us a good run here for the fans. It's in the barn. Hayes in the barn now.
Hayes in the barn.
Now, who's going to have the win? Isaiah, we'll start with you.
23-17. I don't know where the offense is coming from. I honestly don't, but I know the defense is going to play really well. So I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
23-17, they sweep the Commanders.
Ooh. I don't know where the offense is coming from, though. Don't ask me that.
Josh.
Me either. That's why I'm going 41-35 Dallas Cowboys.
41-31?
Why not?
If that happens, I will make sure we are in here on Tuesday with nothing but 40 burger paraphernalia.
I think it's just going to be a lot of players going for it, trying to get their contracts. I think it's going to be 41-35.
I'm not mad at
Is this our first non-40 burger season?
In a while, yeah. Yeah.
If we would need Whataburger for that on Tuesday.
Yeah. No, I'd make the request. We got an extra buffer day in there to get it done too. Yeah, I think it'd be possible. All right.
Cowboys haven't made the decision yet. Gut tells me Trey Lance starts. Sprinkling some Will Greer. That's added mobility, makes things a little bit more challenging for the Commanders' second and third string because they're not going to have starters the entire game.
So you're saying there's a Lance?
I'm saying there's a Lance. I don't know what his arm is going to do, but I know what his legs can do.
He got a cannon.
Yeah, but he lacks touch. That's my big thing. Give me Cowboys. They're going to give Kevontae Turpin legacy game on offense.
Ooh.
100
yards receiving. I'm saying it with my chest. Kevontae Turpin, 100 yards receiving in a tutty. But I don't know about that 40 burger.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. Give me Cowboys 28 over the Commanders, who only get
4 touchdowns.
13. 28-13. Cowboys
touchdowns.
take it. They sweep the Commanders. Send Dan Quinn. Well, he'll be in the playoffs, so he won't care much. But he won't get this dub.
Listen.
Take that L, Dan Quinn.
Take that L, Quinn.
Oh, you
DQ.
I got to pick. I was going to pick the Cowboys, but everybody picked the Cowboys.
Are you doing strategy right now?
I'm trying to win a belt over here.
Is this strategy right now?
I'm trying to win a belt. And I also don't think this is an easy win for Dallas either. I think it's going to be.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, I would have said like a 1 or 3 point win. Like it would have been tight.
DeRon Bland pick 6.
Give me the Commanders. Commanders win it 27-17.
How far back are you from first place?
2 games.
Gotta go.
2 games. I'm trying to make it happen. All right, we got to go. That's going to do it for us here in the regular season for Talking Cowboys. We are back on Tuesday, 10 a.m. Central Time. That point forward, 1 week at a time. 1 show a week from there. We appreciate everybody listening all the way throughout this season. We know there's been some ups. There have been some downs. We love you guys all the way through. For Chris Beam in the back, Patrik Walker, Josh Rodriguez, Isaiah Stanback, I'm Kyle Youmans saying so long one final time for Talking Cowboys in 2024.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!